A royal duke to be stripped of his title? As ever, let me explain. Morning, good to see you, chums, and we're literally hiding away here from yet another shower in the middle of London. Yes, I know, I thought spring had sprung. I know you did, didn't you? And this is the thing, this is the problem. We're coming up, as you know, to Easter over here in the United Kingdom, a wonderful celebration in our wonderful Christian country. And the interesting thing about that is whenever, I don't know if people will back me up on this in the United Kingdom, but we all tend to rush off, Brits, because we think, wow, it's a chance for a bit of a break, normally 4-day holiday break, and people want to go to the coast or look around, that sort of stuff. And it's never good weather, is it? Everybody goes on a coach trip or to the coast, seaside, or a historic house or something. You're always freezing, but pretending, well, it's spring, right? So we'll have a wave. Nice to see you anyway. Now listen, this is an interesting story because clearly this is problematic in itself. And when you think about it, the people calling for this particular action maybe want to reflect on their own, how shall we say, how good or bad does it look for them? You see, as we know, His Royal Highness Prince Andrew, the Duke of York, yes, I know his title isn't necessarily His Royal Highness, but sometimes, of course, you want to give them the title that you think, it's what I remember them as. And as we all know, currently, His Royal Highness Prince Andrew, the Duke of York, is literally going through a lot of problems. Some people might suggest currently at this moment in time, they need to be recounted, as it were. This is because, as you know, the recent developments with his alleged accuser, Virginia Giuffre, recently came out with that alarming story about how she had days to live, and then suddenly all of that exploded, which is now calling into question her, shall we say, transparency and her truth, whichever way you look at it. But now in the historic royal city of York, which is a wonderful area in North Yorkshire, medieval, just so much history, and of course the infamous shambles there, if you've never been, well worth a visit, chums. Well, the local Labour MP, Rachel Maskell, is calling for the fact, and she's the Labour MP for York Central, she's calling for his title to be stripped away. Now, as I said, what's problematic with something like that? And in fact, they did a research and a poll and all that sort of stuff, and it actually was a sort of 50-50. People couldn't decide, they weren't that bothered, etc. I would suggest most people it wouldn't really matter. And quite how this affects the historic city of York, well, I don't know. People just call it York and visit, don't they? But Rachel Maskell clearly is trying to get something of a name for herself. But one might say also, looking deeply into her own government, her own party, shouldn't these particular individuals be stripped of their titles? Those that, of course, have caused a lot of grief for a lot of people. The fact that, of course, the current Chancellor of the Exchequer, Rachel Reeves, still hasn't really defined her own CV. Is she lying or not? And then, of course, we got the business secretary, as I've detailed previously. He lied in Parliament, claiming he was a solicitor. So if you want to look at it on both sides, it's very difficult to come out in force and say, this is what people want. It seems that Rachel, as I say, a local MP in the historic city of York, is looking for some kind of, well, recognition. And it's spectacularly backfired. And I've been told that number 10 Downing Street are just hoping that this will go away because, quite frankly, Keir Starmer does not need a fresh battle with the British monarchy. Not while he's using Prince William for the soft soap approach in our political landscape. Either way, another huge mistake. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.